Hi, welcome to Miss Annette's little farm in the big city. I can't decide whether I'm warm or cold this morning, but just one of those days. Kind of feel icky, feel bad. One of our goldfish from our pond died, so I'm gonna clean the pond, make sure there isn't anything in the pond causing the fish to be sick. So whenever an animal on the little farm, it doesn't even matter if it's just a little fish, it still kind of gets me choked up and gets my stomach kind of in knots. But I gotta go ahead and get this pond cleaned to make sure I don't lose any more of my fish. So it wasn't really planned for what we were going to do today, but that's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and take half of the water out of this and then replace it with clean water. So I'll be dumping some water out. I dump it on my plants. My next thing is I'm going to clean out some of this cattail out of here that's dead, and I'll cut it back and get rid of that. And clean out some of this stuff. I found a bunch of stuff in here. I gotta clean this out. See, it's got a lot of little stuff in it. I'm gonna find a little tool or something to pull this out. So after I'm looking at this and I'm kind of doing my forensics files on this, I think the algae suffocated the fish. And what I'm going to have to do, what I did today was I took half and half, and I'm going to have to do that probably once a week, maybe even more. Emptying it, putting fresh water in it, emptying it, putting fresh water in it, emptying it and putting fresh water in it, just to get the ecosystem back balanced. And this is kind of what could happen to a river or a pond when there's too much algae in there. It could suffocate all the living fish and other aquatic life that is happening in there. And it just happens. You're not paying enough attention. I also decided to put shade over this to help kill the algae because it needs sun to thrive, and so I put shade on it. We'll see what happens. I'll keep you posted. We'll just keep up on it. All right, so now I want to go plant some potatoes. We had some potatoes that started doing this. And since these were organic potatoes, I'm going to try to grow some more. I remember one time when I was a little girl how I got a potato and I did this. I cut it and I put it in there. And I don't even remember how old I was, but I must have been a really weird kid because I cut the potato up and I planted it. And I didn't think anything would come of it. And then, when did I plant it? Maybe I planted it, it seems to me like I planted it in the fall. And then the next spring, up came all these potatoes and I dug them up and I had potatoes. And I was the most amazed kid when that happened. I didn't know that kind of stuff happened. So I must have been pretty young doing crazy things like that. But we're gonna go ahead and do that again. And I have several pieces of potatoes. I don't know how many we'll get out of that. And I have a little part of the garden tilled up for it. And we're trying, Mr. Steve and I were just talking about where are we going to put the potatoes, and I'm going to put them behind the hive because they're not high growers, they're low growers, and they'll vine out. So they'll be low growers. So we're going to put them there, and then behind those, I'm going to plant some sunflowers. So we have big plans for the garden, but we'll get started by planting the potatoes. I have 10 potatoes to plant. So I'm going to plant 5 and 5. And I'm going to plant them, I'm going to make these little rows. And what you do when you plant your potatoes, you plant them about 12 inches apart, cover them with about 3 inches of soil. And then in a few weeks, you cover them, the tubers, you continue covering them up with soil. Well, so I'm going to dig some trenches here for those potatoes. I'm going to add some fertilizer, and what I read, it's to put some fertilizer under the potato, about 3 inches, and then to the side. So I'm going to dig underneath each spot that I placed them, about 3 inches, and put a little bit of fertilizer in there. Oops, that was a little bit too much, I think. cameraman. When Mr. Steve retires, I'm going to promote him to be cameraman. Speaking of cameras, did any of you guys watch the 10 Commandments? I watched it on Friday. I love watching the 10 Commandments. I don't even know why I like it so much. I like the gowns. The costumes are really cool. I should look to see who the costume designer is for that movie. That was a good movie. I enjoyed it, but I had to pay $3 to watch it. Used to be able to watch it for free. Alright, done. I also harvested a bunch of worms for the birds, for the ducks and the chickens. My stomach's a little upset. It does make me a little sad when we lose an animal, no matter how small. But it'll be okay. I'll be a little more diligent about the fish pond now. That's how we learn sometimes, by our mistakes. I've got all these worms to feed the chickens. And I hope you had a wonderful holiday. Thank you for stopping by and visiting me here at Miss Annette's Little Farm in the big city. Things are starting to get exciting. Working in the garden, getting my hands dirty, making that earth to self connection really makes me happy. And you make me happy too when you stop by for a visit. So thank you. Thank you so much for stopping by and visiting me here on Miss Annette's Little Farm in the big city. Try to get outside today if you can. Take care of yourself and take care of each other. And we'll see you next time. Bye. Love you.